I'm not saying his name because I got yelled at by Maddie.
Yeah. Also because these men actually might come for us.
Yeah, for real. Legally. So I'm talking to him and I was like, so how do you all really know each other? And he was like, oh, well, we're all like federal investigators. And I was like, I'm sorry, like I've been drinking, sir. Can you explain to me
one more time
what the hell you mean by federal investigators? He's like, well, we're all from all over the country except for one of the guys is from here, and we're doing a drug bust. And I was like, I started dying laughing because I thought he was kidding because he was kind of like joking around all night. He was like, no, I'm like being serious. And then fast forward to later in the week when we saw them out again. He showed us a picture of this drug bust. Like, literally, one bed had all drugs on it, and the other bed had all money on it. And I was like, so are you busting them? Or, like, in the back of my head, I was like, maybe this was them dealing the drugs.
Yeah, so we're still not sure which was which. Part of me was like, that would be kind of like a good,
cover-up?
Yeah, a good cover-up.
But they look a little slow. If something really happened, they don't go run away. What's that 70-year-old man going to do?
I just want to know how the operation works.
I got questions. Maybe Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson goes in first and deals with any issues, throws them across the room. Maybe the singer really, serenades them, talks them down.
This might
maybe C is the one that's like, pew, pew, pew. Maybe the old man is like the kind of like decoy in the lobby when they gotta like do shit. You know what I'm saying? Maddie and I are really thinking.
I'm really like thinking about how does this go down? Like, imagine you're getting busted by this cast of characters. I would be like, God damn it.
I'll be like, really? I went through all of this shit and this is who I get busted by? I would be kind of pressed.
I would be absolutely pressed.
Oh my God.
Well, I would tell my friends, I'd be like, listen.
Are we can I expose you?
You could try and then I'll edit it out if I don't like it.
So one of them, we're going to call him Z because whose names actually really starts. No one. So the singer, the one from Nashville, in this group, his name is Z. Maddie was really flirting with him all night, but he just was giving off mixed signals, and I was trying to be a little wing woman. I wasn't interested in anything.
He also had bought me 3 drinks, approximately 4 or 5 shots.
Yeah. Anyway, so Z is like asking me, he's like, does Maddie like me? Blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to be a wing woman. I don't even know if I like him. I'm trying to alley-oop, but Maddie heard a southern accent and she said, oh, I love you. But
and he's trying to tell me he's not from the South, but in my head I was like, I don't care. I have this whole story planned out about you.
But it turns out he was actually from Michigan. But
but I will never remember that. In my drunken state, I was like, okay, but stop. You're living in Nashville. You're a singer here.
Oh my God. But anyway, so I'm talking to him, whatever, and I guess him and Maddie, like, start talking. I turn around and
we're making out
in the middle of Honky Tonk Central. C and I are like, oh, we're just like,
and then whatever. And then he hits me with this. How old do you think I am?
Clear his throat.
And I was like, oh no. And I was like,
that's a loaded question.
Yeah, I was like, well, I don't want to offend this man, but I'm just going to be honest because it's the best policy I've heard.
It really is not, though.
I was like, I don't know, 25. And he was like, he starts laughing. I'm like, oh. He's like, older than that. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe, what, 30? Like, max? I don't know. And he's like, I'm 37. I said, no, you're not. You're lying.
So can I fast
He pulled
forward?
out his ID, man. The next night, I know this is a zigzagging story, but so then when we see these men out again, and they show us these pictures, can you talk about how the demise of us seeing them? Because that is some shit that I don't quite remember.
I think this was 2 nights later. Okay, so the second night we were there on a Thursday night. So I was, Matt and I were really living up our hot girl summer. And we, I thought that whenever I'm drunk, I think everyone's the love of my life. Really
and Katie was very drunk and I was very sober, and she keeps telling me he's talking about marriage. I'm like, what?
This man, okay,
Are we in the same bar? Like, you would think that it's like love in the club. No, love in the honky tonk. Because what the actual
forget The Bachelor. We just needed a honky tonk central.
Yes.
But anyway,
you need to tell me this man in cowboy boots and you are getting married.
So we met them at this other bar across the street. What was that called? Where we met?
Nudies.
Oh, so we went to Nudies before that to mix it up a little bit. That was our second favorite bar, other than the good old honky tonk.
Yeah.
So we see our friend T from the first night, the bouncer, and I was like, we're talking to him, whatever, and then he introduced us to his friends, and I was like, okay, cool. So I meet his friend. We'll just call him P. Okay, we're just gonna call him.
Why is everybody one letter?
Because I can't think of names. I don't want to. Anyways,
okay.
So his name was P. So I'm talking to him, like he's buying me. At this point, I think I maybe took like 5 or 6. Like,
yeah. A side note: if you ever go to Nashville, just leave your wallet at home because the men will buy you all the drinks that you need.
Every single drink.
And like my mom went to Nashville after us like 2 weeks later, and she said that they would just have not even like men and women, like they would just buy them drinks.
Oh, I love that. If you're from out of town, they just
yeah. But no, just leave your wallet at home because they got you. And I'm over here looking at the prices. I'm like, I'll take a Miller Lite. So I'm like looking at the prices. I'm like, this is $12 drinks. Like I'm starting to feel bad
because Maddie and I like got a few like drinks for ourselves before, like during the night before we like met whoever people during the night. But anyway, so I'm talking to P. Maddie's talking to his brother.
Yeah, his brother.
His brother was weird.
He was very into oppression of women.
For context, he was wearing like a Diary of a Wimpy Kid shirt.
And this man was straight up telling me that he was running for office, and I was like, "Well, first you need to learn how to respect women,
or just people in general." Because he was just an asshole.
You're so rude.
But I'm talking to P. Like he's like in my head. He's like my dream man. Like he literally like played. Where did he? He played Division I football. He played at Tennessee. Yes. So I'm like, okay, so you're like, he's like 6'6", Southern. He's got his boots on. He is buying me drinks all night. So I'm like, Maddie, I might be drunk, but I think I'm in love.
No, and I'm like so annoyed because she's trying to get me to get with this brother who is so disrespectful. Like the things.
But I wasn't even listening.
But she's like really trying to like pair us together. I'm like, Kitty, no, absolutely not. I will talk to the wall. I will sit on the stool by myself before I will continue this conversation.
But anyway, so
I said, take me to the honky tonk. I looked at her. I said, I don't care. Take me to the damn honky tonk.
So we leave Nudies and we go to the honky tonk per usual. That was our closing bar. Every night.
Yeah.
And P is obviously like basically talking about like how I'm his dream girl, like how he wants to marry me. And I was like, Angry Orchard. I was like, can I have my next one? And
by the way, if you could just expose Katie, let me just tell you, every time she drinks an Angry Orchard, she tells me, I'm just going to order a beer. And I'm like, it's a cider. Check yourself. We live in Brew City. And you're about to tell me that that's a beer.
Yeah, I just try to make myself sound cooler. Like whenever I'm out of date, I'm like, okay. Anyways,
you sound dumb.
This is not exposing Katie time. Anyway, so I am talking to this man, whatever, and I noticed that his brother left, and he was like, "Oh, like I think I might leave because my brother's about to leave," and I was like, "Oh crap." So I'm walking around the bar looking at some prospects. P gives me his card, and he's like, "All right, go get us our next round." I was like, "Okay, cool." I'm like, I literally can't even walk at this point, but I was like, okay, what's another cider? What's it going to do to me? It's basically apple juice. And that next cider really, really sent me over anyways. But so I'm walking around the bar. I'm like trying to scout out. I'm like Chris Harrison in there, like, all right, who's gonna be the bachelor for Maddie?
You're listening to the Southern accents. You're like, that one's thick. Put him in the roster.
But I kind of picked the one that, so whatever. So I'm at the bar ordering, and then this man gave me shit, and he was like, "That's really what you ordered?" And I was like, "Yes. Do you have a problem?" And this was the friend of the person that I introduced Maddie to.
Oh.
Can I just say his name? He's not gonna know. This man's name was Gunner. When I tell you that was my dog's name that passed away.
Oh my god. I just spit it out.
Oh my god. So
He was the most Southern man to a T.
So I'm talking to his friend. I don't even know his friend's name. He's irrelevant. And he's like, Gunner, I'm gonna.
His friend was trying to hit on the most popped ass girl. And I was sitting there. I was like,
stop.
Okay. I shouldn't come for her, but she was sitting there in low rise jeans and damn near a sports bra.
When I tell you I don't remember that, I don't.
And I was trying to tell him, please, talk to other girls in here.
No, but then he got fed up with it, and he's like, Gunner, I'm going to go outside and get a hot dog.
Yes, because I'm pretty sure this girl's sugar daddy showed up or something. Or maybe it was her actual father, because it was a weird dynamic.
And I was like, gray hair. I remember him.
I was like, please stop talking to this girl. I was like, this is not going to end well for you. And then he goes outside. I'm pretty sure that man just downed 3 hot dogs. I was astonished.
He goes outside and he's like, Yeah, no, then he came back in. He said he ate
I ate
3
3
hot
hot
dogs
dogs. I'm
from
like-
the cart that was outside the honky tonk. And I was like, okay. And the bouncer
How?
didn't.
Did you just slide him down?
The bouncer didn't let him back in.
Why?
And then Gunnar was talking to me like I was gonna have all the answers for him, and I was like, well, you could, here's my friend Maddie.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's the answers for you. So
then
picture Gunnar. He's super fucking
absolutely whatever you're
redhead.
picturing, it's correct because this man looks straight out of probably he could be put on the Texas flag. Like that's so okay. So I'm drunk, right? And so these men keep so it's Gunnar and his 2 friends, and Katie's in and out, and they're
Katie, when I enter the conversation, I'm screaming at them.
Yes.
I'm like slurring my words.
Slurring. I'm like, just leave, Katie. I don't know what's happening. So then they're like talking, and then eventually, I don't know who said it, whatever cast characters. One of them was like, wow, you guys are just like my favorite line. They told us we were different. You know what? Cheers to that. Cheers to that.
That sponsorship.
Okay, we'll get into that in a different podcast, but...
So, fast forward a little bit, we go outside, Maddie smokes her cig.
No, whoa.
Oh.
Before we get to that, this is my only regret of the trip. Hold on, real quick.
This is when I got yelled at for dancing with my, with P.
Okay, this is the part that I need to talk about. So we're sitting at this table.
Maddie just
drinking.
opened her second White Claw.
Yeah, if you didn't hear that, it's great.
Sponsored.
It's actually my 4th drink of the night.
Oh.
Yeah, so basically this man was like, do you want a 2-step? And I was like, The live studio audience is making too much noise.
They take your phones away in live studio audiences, you know that, right? when I went to the James Corden show, taken away.
What?
Yeah, they take your phones away. They get put in a big ass bucket. That was pre-corona. They wouldn't do that now.
Yeah, they could never. The legality of that is questionable. So basically this man asked me to 2-step. Never heard of 2-stepping in my life.
Yes, you have.
Okay, well maybe. But I certainly did not know how to do it, and he's like keeps asking me to 2-step, and that would probably be my dream.
I'm like, Gunnar, do you know how to 2-step in your Vineyard Vines t-shirt? Let me know. I'd love to see you try. Because when I tell you this man was wearing a white Vineyard Vines t-shirt with an American flag on the frocket, for y'all that don't know what a frocket is, it's the front pocket, with the 5-finger tuck into his blue jeans, with his fairies. I don't mean to come for him.
Cute.
Stop.
He's cute. Yeah. Maybe not.
Maddie was also hammered when she
Yeah.
so.
Okay. Well, questionable. And yeah, so basically this man was begging me to 2-step, and I wish I would have. Because do I have that story to tell? No. But you know what? I probably would have killed the 2-step up in the honky tonk. So next time I go, I will finesse myself into a 2-step. So when someone asks you to 2-step, you don't know how to do it, it don't matter. Just say yes.
Say yes. Say less. Okay, so anyways, fast forward. Can I fast forward to the part we're leaving?
Please
So
do.
we're leaving. We're waiting for this Uber. I'm bringing back P. Who is literally the polar opposite of Gunnar.
Yeah, no, well, first we go to get in this man's car.
Oh,
okay?
no, we didn't get an Uber.
We got in his Charger, his Dodge Charger.
That's when I should have ran.
And
They haven't
he looks at me, he goes, be careful when you're getting in. I have my gun back there. I look at this man, I said, nope, let me stop you right there. You better get the gun out before I get in the back seat, because that is not how I will go out. All of a sudden I'm in the back seat, the gun goes off, and I'm like, let me die in the back of your Dodge Charger.
Also for reference,
I made his 6'5" ass get in the back of his own car and get out the gun.
The reason why he said that, because there wasn't back doors. It was one of those that you had to crawl over the seat. And he was like, I'm too big for this.
I'm 5'8", wearing skinny jeans and Doc Martens. I'm like, let me get my big ass clown shoes in there.
Anyway, so P parks by our apartment. And he really thinks that his car is gonna get stolen.
Yeah.
You're gonna be the car that gets stolen.
It was like a 10-15 minute conversation about whether his car is gonna get stolen. I
was like, you're fine, just park it, we're fine.
It's in a parking lot.
And anyways, so we start walking back. He's like, then he shows me that he has his gun in his, not in the pocket. You know how people tuck it in the behind the back, into their pants. That's where I was. He's like, I got us, don't worry. And I was like, oh, I was really worried that if someone rolled up on us, he was just going to shoot them. Okay. He's like, I got my concealed carry, don't worry. And I was like, oh, I feel protected now.
I feel
protected now. So we walk back to our apartment, whatever, from this little parking lot. It's like a block away. We're just hanging out, whatever. P makes himself